Okay, here's the video of the Greyhound that you ladies are asking me to do. First of all, the original Greyhound that was posted was pretty pixelated, so I went to the internet and found another picture that had a better quality. So what I'm going to start with, I'm going to start with my trace, and I'm going to select my object, and I'm going to fool with my trace settings. There's no magic to this. It is just trial and error until you get what you want. So for this one, I'm going to leave my high pass filter checked, and I'm going to bring my value down pretty low. And what I'm attempting to do right now is get that yellow area. And as you notice here, it's not quite catching it. So I'm going to increase my threshold until I grab it, but not too much of it. So I'm just in slow increments, just letting it filter up. And there's going to be a little editing I'm going to have to do on this. That might be a little too much. Okay, and I know that's not perfect, but what I'm working on, like I said, is I'm focusing on just the yellow at this point in time. And I'm noticing here there's a little garbage. We're going to have to fix that after the fact. So that's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and trace that. And when I pull my graphic away, you're going to notice there's a bunch of trash. This doesn't even look usable. When I fill it in, you're going to see a bunch of garbage. Let's try selecting it first. Doesn't quite look usable, but I'm not using the whole thing. So I am going to release the compound path. And what I want to do is I want to grab this layer here. And as you notice, it's got a frame around it. So I need to go fix that. So I'm going to pull this in its own little work area. And what I'm going to do in order to fix that is I'm just going to use my knife tool. And I'm going to cut this away. Here and here, I'm going to separate it. And then I'm going to select, delete, and delete. So now I have just my yellow layer. Okay, and I'm going to go back to my trace and see if by any crazy chance something else is usable. Let's see this layer. There is a little stuff going on here, so I can salvage it, but you'll notice it's not separating the two pieces. So what I'm going to do is I see this piece is not connected, and that's why it's not separating. So I'm going to zoom in there. I'm going to go ahead and grab my little square, just draw a tiny square, and I'll go ahead and just kind of line it up just a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that square and the outline, and I'm going to weld this to make it all one piece so I can separate it. I can go here to weld, or I can go to my modify tool and use the weld. And let me uncolor it. And you'll notice there's spots here we're going to fix. So I'm going to double click and go to my point editing mode, and as you notice, the inside and the outside are still considered one graphic, so we haven't separated them yet. But I'm just going to go through and delete points. In case you aren't aware, you can double click to bring up your point mode, and it'll bring it up. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select multiple points at one time and just get rid of a bunch of points I don't need. And I do that by hitting the shift once I have the point mode up. And then I'm going over here. If you hit the delete button, you're going to delete the whole graphic. You need to use the delete feature in this area. And you notice that pretty much cleared up And I can do this as much as I want until I'm happy with the graphic. So I can point edit for hours until I get what I want. So say we're happy with the points, because we, like I said, we could do this forever. Let me zoom back out. And what I'm going to do is select again, and I am going to release compound path once again. Now I'm going to pull separated my gray area. I'm going to line him up, and I'm going to color him gray just so I know what I'm doing. Color it gray. Now when I zoom in on it, you'll get a better idea. Oops. Yellow, grab the inside. Yes, that's the inside. Make him gray. And then just kind of line him up where I need him. And then what I'm going to do is go back. Oops. And I want to pull out just the purple. I could go over here and try and line up all this stuff again, but that would take longer. So, like I said, I'm going to pull just the purple in a different pass. Go back to my trace, and I'm going to select my graphic again. And this time, I'm going to pull my high pass filter all the way, and I'm going to drop my threshold so I can get just the purple trace. And that is the purple. And I will go color the purple layer in. Try selecting it first. And then I'll place him. And then we're done. Now the thing to remember is this doesn't happen with all graphics. These colors just happen to be on a different spectrum. So they're shaded differently. It will not happen with all colors. This is not a go-to for everything. Just this particular graphic could be used this method. If you have any questions, please feel free to PM me.